Hi, Ron from Clarity. This video will demonstrate a few of the workflows from our Magento Multistore to Infor CloudSuite Industrial Integration Solution. This client, Master Cutlery, wanted a quick and custom integration to automate their user registration, sales orders, and invoice payments from their online Magento site into their Infor ERP, as well as contract approvals, orders and shipping statuses, and invoice from their Infor back into Magento. Let's go ahead and start in Magento by creating a new user account for Ron Halverson, which is me but with my last name misspelled, developers. We'll use our pre-COVID Clarity office address, which is 6805 North Capital of Texas Highway, here in Austin, Texas, for my address. As we're creating the account, I'll describe their custom registration workflow. This client has a process where all buyer accounts sign contracts with them and are entered directly into Infor as a purchasing account by the internal sales staff. In order to be able to make purchases on that corporate account, a user must be added and verified as a ship-to address and then tied to that account. This means that everyone who creates an account in Magento gets reviewed by the team and added before they can purchase anything. Let's walk through that process. So with our account created in Magento, we switch to the Connect dashboard where we have our integration tasks available. These are typically pre-scheduled or called in real time, but for the demo, we're triggering them manually so we can watch the data transfer in real time. We select the Process Customers Magento to Infor and trigger now. We head over Jobs, Processing Queue, where our job shows up immediately, and see that it found one new record to sync. We can see that it took our Magento user ID 1502 with the listed email and created a new user record, CLA 1502 in CSI. So we'll go over to Infor for now. We'll click on the filter control and search for our new user, CLA 1502, and see that the customer ID CLA 1502 shows the correct 6805 address that we just entered. And clicking on contacts for that address, we see my name is the contact record for that address. As I mentioned, in order for me to be able to purchase on account, I have to be approved by the client in Infor. Once my user registration is synced and looked at by the client, they can see that there is a parent account that I need to be tied to. So I search for Gtest, which is my parent account that we're using to develop this integration. Once it pops up, you can see listed under the Ship To tab all of the user accounts that we've added for testing purposes that can purchase under the Gtest company account. Clicking on Ship Tos, we have to add a new label for the record, in this case Ron Halverson Shipping. Then, based on the location, we set a warehouse priority to assign the default fulfillment location, Warehouse 1, and finally add in my email and contact name before clicking Save and verify that we've been added to the valid Ship To list. This is a little more work than normal, but it is the internal process that the client's been using for many years, and they want all purchases tied to the account instead of the independent contact users, since the contract and payments are handled at account level. Back into Connect, we'll run the Process Customers Infor to Magento job. Drilling in again, we see that it's picked up two updated customer records, both the CLA 1502 contact, or the user that's been approved, and the Gtest account, since we added a new Ship To address to that. So we go back into the Magento storefront, click on Account, and log in as our Gtest account, which is the corporate account that everyone purchases under. Check to see that our account says Jody, which is the procurement officer who tracks every order. We'll select this 705 version 2 knife for $7.99 here on the homepage. By the way, I'm taking my video on the dev environment, so not all the images are loaded yet while the site's still being built. We check the cart to ensure it's what we want, and we proceed to checkout. As we scroll down the page, you can see that all of the addresses are listed for Jody, again, our procurement officer, but the Ship To addresses are all of the approved recipient locations that we can now purchase and ship to. We scroll down to the bottom and see our new 6805 Austin address that we just approved in Infor and select that. We'll select one of the shipping rates, in this case UPS 3-day select, then enter our PO, which will be Ron Halverson PO01, verifying that I'm paying on terms, and place my order. I see that my order number is W, lots of zeros, 22. So we head back to Connect and trigger the process sales order workflow, drill in to see that it's picked up an order, Magento order 22, which happens to be our order. So back in CSI, we open up the customer orders, go back to Magento, copy our order number, paste it and filter by it, and now we can see our Ron Halverson PO01 purchase order for customer G-Test account, shipped to address Ron Halverson shipping location, net 30 terms, UPS 3-day select, and if we click on the lines to drill into the details, we see that the order is indeed for that 705 version 2 knife for $7.99. So in summary, we registered a new user in Magento Multistore instance. We then synced the user into Infor to be considered for approval to purchase on account. We then approved and assigned their ship to address to the G-Test corporate account. We synced that approval and ship to address back to Magento, updating both accounts, logged into Magento to the corporate account, placed an order for that new ship to location, synced the order into info, and finally, we found the order and verified that everything, including the PO, shipping, terms, location, and line items within the order, were all correct and ready for fulfillment. So that's a quick view of the Clarity Connect Magento Multistore to Infor CSI integration solution. Thanks for watching.